Yes. Okay, so we're going to read there we go. Chapter 5, the yoga of reunification. Reunification. Renunciation. Reunification. So for those of you who don't know, what we're doing is we're reading from the Bhagavad Gita. It took me a little while to get set up tonight, and we're reading from the Bhagavad Gita, and it's a beautiful book, a beautiful poem, a beautiful writing, and between Krishna and Arjuna in the middle of a battle. Time stood still while Krishna schooled Arjuna in the ways of life, and beautifully done. And this translation, this translation came from Stephen Mitchell. So, see, does that work? Can we see that? I think we can. So here we go. Arjuna said, "You have praised both reunification and the yoga of action, Krishna. Tell me now, of these two, which is the better path?" The Blessed Lord said, this is Krishna speaking, "Reunification and yoga both lead to the ultimate good. But of the two paths, Arjuna, yoga is the more direct. The true reunification, the true renunciate, neither desires things nor avoids them, indifferent to pleasure and pain. He's easily freed from all bondage." I welcome you guys. Thanks for joining us. Fools say that knowledge and yoga are separate. Fools say that yoga and knowledge are separate, but the wise do not. When you practice one of them deeply, you gain the rewards of both. The state reached by true knowledge is reached by yoga as well. Both paths lead to the self. Both lead to selfless action. It is hard to renounce all action without engaging in action. The sage, wholehearted in the yoga of action, soon attains freedom. The sage, wholehearted in the yoga of action, soon attains freedom. Wholehearted, purified, mastering body and mind, his self becomes the self of all beings. He is unstained by anything he does. The man who has seen the truth thinks, "I am not the doer," at all times. Who has seen the truth thinks, "I am not the doer," at all times. When he sees, hears, touches, when he smells, eats, walks, sleeps, breathes, when he defecates, talks, or takes hold, when he opens his eyes or shuts them, at all times he thinks, this is merely sense objects acting out of the senses. Offering his actions to God, he is free of all actions. Sin rolls off him as drops of water roll off a lotus leaf. Surrendering attachment, the sage performs all actions with his body, his mind, and his understanding only to make himself pure. His resolute in yoga is the resolute in yoga surrender results. The resolute in yoga surrender results and gain perfect peace. The irresolute attached to results, attached to results, are bound by everything they do. Calmly renouncing calmly renouncing all actions. The embodied self dwells at ease as Lord of the nine-gated city, not acting nor causing action. Does not create the means of action or the action itself, or the union of results and action. All these arise from nature. So for those of you that just joined us, we're reading from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Gita. It's a beautiful text, and it's the translation I picked is from Stephen Mitchell. It's beautiful, and yeah, I'm not commenting much on as I go, but I'm just reading, and I may I've never reading out loud because there's words that I stumble over a bit, but here we are, stumbler. I'm the results are not up to me. Here we are. Okay. Nor does it partake of anyone's virtues or evil actions, nor does it partake of anyone's virtues or evil actions. When knowledge of the self is obscured by ignorance, men act badly. But when ignorance is completely destroyed, when the light of wisdom shines like the midday sun and illuminates what is supreme, contemplating that, inspired and rooted and absorbed in that, men reach the state of true freedom, from which there is no rebirth. From which there is no rebirth. Wise men regard all things as equal. Learned priest, a cow, an elephant, a rat, or a filthy rat-eating outcast, freed from the endless cycle of birth and death, they can act impartially towards all beings, since to them all beings are the same. They do not rejoice in good fortune. They do not lament at bad fortune. Lucid, with minds unshaken, they remain within what is real. A man, hi there, unattached to sensations, who finds fulfillment in the self, whose mind has become pure freedom, attains an imperishable joy. Pleasures from external objects are wombs of suffering, Arjuna. They have their beginning and their ends. No wise man seeks joy among them. Interesting. The man of yoga who is able to overcome here on earth the turmoil of desire and anger, that man is truly happy. He who finds peace and joy and radiance within himself, that man becomes one with God and vanishes into God's bliss. The wise man, cleansed of his sins, who has cut off all separation, who delights in the welfare of others, of all beings, vanishes into God's bliss. He who controls his mind and has cut off desire and anger realizes the self. He knows that God's bliss is nearer than near, nearer than near. I love that. Closing his eyes, his vision focused between his eyebrows, making the in-breath and the out-breath equal as they pass through his nostrils. He controls his senses and his mind, intent upon liberation. When desire, fear, and anger have left him, that man is forever free. Knowing me as the enjoyer of all worship, knowing me as the enjoyer of all worship, the Lord of all worlds, the dearest friend of all beings, that man gains perfect peace. Beautiful. It's a beautiful chapter. So I just encourage you all to get a copy of this book. My friend Jason has a copy, yes, and it's, yeah, it really tells the story of awakening. It's a beautiful story between Arjuna and Krishna. So the Bhagavad Gita, there it is again. I'm going to just keep poking away at this. Not again until Tuesday next week, but we'll sit down Tuesday next week and we'll do it again. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And love you guys. And I'm happy to be here sharing with you. And thanks, Jason, for coming in. Say hello, bud.
Yeah, no, I'm grateful to be here. It is a beautiful piece of work, that is for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
It gets referenced by so many authors, when they write, and I'm learning how, or learning why.
Yeah, that's neat. I have a friend who's been catching up, listening to these on YouTube, and he's catching up, and him actually, and he's a big fan of Eckhart Tolle's, and so he went to YouTube and put in the Bhagavad Gita, looking, and the first thing that came up was Eckhart actually reading from this same book.
Oh, wow.
And he said, well, if it's good enough for Eckhart, it's good enough for us. So yes,
that's great.
Great. Yeah, he's following along, even if he's not watching live, he's catching up on YouTube. So I encourage any of you, if you want to go to our YouTube channel, Valley and Beyond, and these are the last 4 or 5 sessions that we've done, including the introduction, which I encourage you to go back and have a look at. The introduction is explains how Stephen Mitchell came to do this, and not only the why but the how, because this was all written before the birth of Christ, and it was written in Sanskrit, and so he shares how he put this together, and there are many interpretations. So yes. Hi, Jennifer dropped in. So yeah, go to YouTube and watch the older ones that we've done, and we can catch up. Okay, love you guys, and
see you, David. Have a good night.
Yeah, we'll talk soon.
You bet.